Any day you wake up in the morning feeling a little sick, you know that you can go to the doctor. They'll check you out and send you home with some medicine to make you feel better. But what if the doctor refused to see you? What if everyone you knew were sick, dying, or dead? This was the reality of those living during the bubonic plague. We've all spent countless classes learning about the different tragedies that have happened in history. The Black Death was the one with the biggest impact. The Black Death led to 25 million deaths. According to the 2013 U.S. Census, that is roughly the population of Texas. For 3 horrifying years, the Black Death pushed mankind toward the brink of an apocalypse. The bubonic plague started in China and traveled through trading routes to Europe. Once it got there, it infected everyone it touched. The victims would become ill with tumors and pain, leading to a time in history known as the Black Death. Though it is no longer destroying civilizations, the bubonic plague is still around today. The plague is caused by the bacteria Yersinia pestis. It typically lives in ground rodents found in Central Asia. These rats are believed to have caused the first cases. In the early 1300s, the bubonic plague was running rampant throughout the streets of China and India, but the Europeans had only heard horror stories of such an illness. By October of 1347, though, the bubonic plague had reached Europe. According to History.com, 12 trading ships docked at the Sicilian port of Messina after a long journey through the Black Sea. As the people rushed to see the ships, they were greeted by the gravely ill and dying crew. Not only were the people on these ships infected, the rats and fleas carried the disease as well. Though these death ships were immediately sent back out to sea, this encounter was all it took to start the Black Death in Europe. Soon, these Europeans went home and began infecting their families and communities. The scariest part of the plague was the varying timeline of the disease. While one person may be ill for many days before dying, their neighbor could go to sleep healthy, become ill overnight, and simply not wake up the next morning. The symptoms of the bubonic plague began with swellings in the groin or under the armpit. Before long, these tumors would spread all over the body. Next, black and purple spots would appear on the arms and thighs, hence the name, the Black Death. While these physical symptoms, the person would have fever, chills, and weakness. According to eyewitnesstohistory.com, these symptoms were considered signs of impending death. In winter, the disease seemed to disappear, but only because fleas, which were helping to carry it from person to person, are dormant then. Each spring, the plague attacked, killing new victims. According to the middleages.net, in just 3 years, 25 million people were dead. That is 1/3 of Europe's total population. Because of poor sanitation and lack of medical knowledge, the plague was nearly unstoppable. By 1315, the Black Death was winding down in Europe, but it has not been completely eradicated. In the past century, there have been many cases all across the world. According to medicinenet.gov, from 1900 to 1904, there was a bubonic plague outbreak in San Francisco. It claimed the lives of 113 people. In India in 1994, 52 people were killed. There have also been outbreaks in Africa and South America. In 2015, there were 15 cases of the plague throughout the United States. Today, the organism that causes the plague can be treated with fairly common and inexpensive antibiotics. As long as you get diagnosed and treated by a doctor early, your chances of survival are pretty high. Thanks to improvements in modern medicine, the bubonic plague no longer haunts our civilizations. The bubonic plague is a disease that took over Europe in the 1300s. Carried from victim to victim by fleas and rats, it killed almost everyone in its wake. It was easily recognized by the tumors that formed all over the victim's body. Though the plague is still around today, it is easily treated with antibiotics. The effect this plague left on Europe will never be forgotten.